What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 21 of the Houston Astros Out of the Park Baseball 26 series. We're here November 16th, 2032, coming off our fourth straight World Series. And we're here in the offseason, a couple days in. I had a couple of things to kind of work through here. And here's the lab. I mean, you can read through. Proven control with a bunch of different guys. Bustamante, Rodrigo Luna, who played a nice part in our postseason run last season. Rick Martino, looking like a total stud, number 37 prospect in baseball. As well as Angel Perez, 19-year-old, scout and discovery back in 2030. A guy I really like, minus the control. So, he has high development risk. We'll see if he works out, but high work ethic. I don't know. There's a chance he works out. Anyway, they're all frustrated. Yeah, they're all frustrated doing that. And then Nessie Rosales improving his infield defense. It's been an issue for him. The bat's definitely there at this point. Raul Molina excelling in his true two-strike approach. His avoid Ks actually isn't bad, but the strikeout rate that he put up in AA was a little concerning to me, so I'm going to work on that a little bit more. He's the number 4 prospect in baseball right now. Ben Eden's guy we got in the trade with San Francisco for mostly Gary Coslet, but also like Danny Romero and all these guys. He is on track to improve his pitch movement. Izquierdo, one of our top infield prospects, high work ethic guy. He's working on plate discipline. He's frustrated. And Mitchell Westerbeek, second round pick last season. A guy that I like minus the Ks. If he can improve the Ks, I think he can be a potentially good player. We're just improving his two-strike approach as well. And then the big one for me and kind of the direction that we're going to move forward with is I was waiting on Pedro Beltran. We talked about this at kind of a depth last episode about his durability and how he's just dealt with so many leg injuries over the years in his major league career. I mean, yeah, he split time between AAA and the majors back in 2030, but still only played like 106 games combined. The year after, played half the season in the majors. He spent the whole year in the majors, but he was only available for half. And then last year, dealt with a bunch of different injuries. Only played 33 games for us. Was good when he's been great when he's out there, and I love him. But I'm kind of at the point where, like, how much longer can we do this? He's starting to make real money in arbitration now. Do we really want to be paying like $10 million in a year of arbitration for a guy who's going to play 80 games for us, even if he's really good in those games? I mean, you can certainly say yes, and that's worth it, and maybe it's still worth trying to improve his durability, but honestly, at this point, I'm kind of ready to move on. We have a ton of outfielders. We have Juan Ramirez, who played really well in limited time. We still have Jeff Huffins here. And yeah, Beltran's our only lefty out of these guys, minus Merrill, of course, but he's our only lefty out of these guys, which it sucks to give him up. I'd rather have it be Huffins or Ramirez, but these guys have proven that they can stay healthy, at least to some regard. Ramirez is actually durable, and Huffins hasn't really dealt with any injuries. And yeah, they're not the player that Beltran is. Beltran's probably one of the best players in baseball when healthy, but hasn't proven that he can do that yet. And I was waiting for him to get back from injury, and then I put him in the lab. I know this doesn't give me a great indication on where he is with the strength and conditioning, but, he's frustrated. If he was excelling or if he was even on track, I might keep him. But based on what I'm seeing here, like, I just don't think he's ever going to be healthy. I mean, I can cheat. I don't really want to do it, but I need to make a decision on when to do this trade first. So before I, or maybe I'll just do the trade and then look what his leg injury stuff is, because that's what I would have done. But I have this deal in place. So it's Pedro Beltran and this guy, Jordan Nungure, decent hitting prospect, but doesn't really play defense. These two for Alex Saucedo, who is the lesser part of this deal, but still a good prospect. Struggles with defense, but he can work on that. He's at a decent spot. And Kevin Briggs, number 15 prospect in baseball, 22 years old, former 3rd overall pick back in 2029. They've only played him in Double-A. I think that's fine, actually. I don't know if I would have pushed him past Double-A at this point. Maybe I would have. But he crushed A-ball in High A last season. Called him up to Double-A. And didn't do too much of that level, but his BABIP was a lot lower. He still has massive, massive upside with the bat. I mean, could be like a 40 homer guy per every season, or even like 50 homers potentially with the 80 power. And the strikeouts, he's really well developed. The strikeouts aren't an issue with a lot of these guys that have the big power. So he's like a rare case where he can actually hit legitimately and not just like 3 true outcomes type of guy. He's also his high work ethic, spark plug. Does have low baseball IQ, which is a little concerning, but I'm not like too worried about it. So it would be Kevin Briggs essentially for Pedro Beltran. They're also throwing in Cicero. It's kind of a little sweetener. I tried looking at some other guys. I like this guy Nazir Mule. They're using him as a starter. He's really good in that role, and he's also making a lot of money, but not like crazy money. He'd be a guy that I'd love to pick up, but they wanted a lot for him. And besides that, like I don't really love any of the players on their roster, like maybe this guy. But he's very Danny Carpenter, like honestly, kind of strikingly similar. So I don't know if you need 2 of those guys. But this would be the trade. So it's like, you're giving up an amazing player, but he can't stay healthy. And also getting like Kevin Briggs, who, he's not fully developed yet, but he's on a good track. He's improved constantly throughout his minor league career, which I love to see. You don't really want to see a guy who's stagnant. It's kind of the reason I dealt with Gary Koslick, because he never really improved. But he's 22 and he's kept moving forward in his development. And also like legitimate case to be a long-term shortstop for us. Also can play some outfield, like if you need him out in left field, right field, center field. I'd probably only use him at second base for the moment, maybe third base. But like a long-term, if we decide to ever move off of Starling Caba at shortstop, which isn't in the immediate plans, but if we ever decide to move off of him, you can improve Briggs' defense to be good enough to play shortstop for sure. So, I hate to give up Beltran, but we also have a surplus of outfielders. I don't really think he can even play the outfield. Like, I'd be terrified of him getting hurt at any moment. And even when we haven't even played him in the outfield, like the last couple of years. Like, he's played 3 games in the outfield last year. He's mostly DH first base. He's barely played outfield in his career. So, like, his outfield defense, I don't even care that it's that good because I just don't think he could stay healthy out there. Unless he was to go to the lab and improve his strength and conditioning, which he has yet to do in at least the first season of trying it last year. This year, we're not sure. Like, maybe he could very well wind up being on track and excel. However, like, I don't want to take the risk. We can capitalize while his value's high and pick up a guy like Kevin Briggs who can be a long-term, like, superstar middle infielder for us. Of course, it's all projection. Like, he can easily bust out and never develop. But he's on a good track so far. So I like where he's at. Let me just check my phone really quick. Okay. So, geez, it's so tough to do, man. Like, Beltran's such a nice player. And he's one of those guys we paid a lot of money to get in international free agency. He was our first guy we signed. And the offense has never been an issue. Like, he's hit at every single level really, really well. It sucks it needs to end this way, but I think this is best for a long-term future. And also, like, not for nothing, like, we've kind of hit a point where our team's kind of loaded. And, this just kind of makes things a little interesting. Like, we're kind of taking a big swing on a guy like Briggs. Maybe he doesn't work out. We're, down a superstar player. So all of those things, I'm going to make this trade. Yeah, the fans didn't like that one too much, but hang with me. We'll be okay. So now that trade's done, I want to see what his durability is with his legs because he's had so many leg injuries. Oh, yeah. I mean, overall proneness 200, leg proneness 200. That's about what I expected. So, like, that's not surprising news to me. I don't think he's going to ever be able to be healthy enough, and he's going to be wrecked in, a year. So, that at least proves out what I was thinking was the case. Even if the rest of his body's healthy, his legs are probably never going to get there. So, there you go. There's kind of a massive game-changing trade for us. Our fans aren't going to like it, but I think it's something we need to do. And actually, I'm going to put Briggs in AAA to start the year. Saucedo, I think he's fine to play in A-ball. So there you go. That's, a pretty big deal to kick off the offseason. A team that just won 4 straight World Series trading away one of their best players when healthy. Gold Gloves. Let's go through this really quick. Drew Romo and Rainer Arias out in the outfield. So 2 Gold Gloves this season. How many does freaking Drew Romo have at this point? 1, 2. He has 7 Gold Gloves, man. And not a Hall of Famer by any means. 25 WAR at age 30. Maybe. I don't know. But one of the best defensive catchers of all time. Right in front of our eyes. And then Rainer Arias, he's on a Hall of Fame track. Age 26, put up 31 WAR so far. You could say he's probably got 7 good seasons left of 6 WAR. Yeah, he's easy Hall of Fame if he keeps on the track. Now that he's not fragile anymore, the sky's the limit with him. Yeah, super excited for Arias there. And then check out the NL Gold Gloves. Patrick Bailey wins another. He's got 4 at this point. Not the hitter that Romo is. Just has never really gotten there outside of 1 season with Philadelphia. Reliever of the year, Tom Babineau for the White Sox. Really a nice season. Kirk Ring finishes just behind him. 10 first place votes, but less overall votes. Arguably, it was probably better, but I don't know. I guess they care about saves, maybe. I don't know. Steve Herrick, I looked at trading for, but his price is through the roof, as you'd expect. And then Zach Showalter gets a first place vote as well. He was fantastic this season. Shoto Imanaga. A little bit surprising, but I guess it's innings based for him. He gets 4 first place votes. Jarek Utetsky, yikes, 1 first place vote, and Ben Shields, Brian Singletary. So a bunch of votes spread around. And Andres Garcia wins in the NL for the Padres. He was phenomenal. They actually offered him in a trade for Beltran. I didn't go through all the trades that were offered for him. None of them were really as intriguing as that one. It was a lot of low level prospects, but I kind of wanted a higher minors guy. Silver Sluggers, Rainer Arias finally gets another one. After being kind of snubbed the last couple of years by Jordan Sanchez, but Sanchez had a down year and I think was hurt. Where's Jordan Sanchez? Yeah, he was hurt and definitely wasn't the player that he's been for the last couple of seasons. So Arias finally able to get another Silver Slugger. Well deserved. He probably deserved him the last 2 years, or at least the last year. Volpe wins another one. He's been awesome. Probably a Hall of Fame track. I wish he was like that in real life for the Yankees, but anyway. And Jackson Merrill out in center field, not to be forgotten. Although I feel like a lot of times he's glossed over because he's just so damn consistent. And Andy Devora. Oof. Just one of the best players I've seen in this game. He's only 23. Man. Sweet. And then you see NL Silver Sluggers here. Rookie of the year, Jeff Terenzio. And Jimmy Rader, freaking 3 votes, really? He was insanely good. Certainly better than Polanco. This guy was pretty damn good. Sam Moncavis. He was a scouting discovery for them and already fully developed by the time they found him. And he didn't even play a game in the minors and was awesome for them this season. A guy I'd love to pick up. This is totally my type. Sasaki, he was fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of these top guys were really good. Again, the pitchers just cannot win. I mean, Cervantes was insanely good, and Angelos finishes in front of him. Yeah, even this guy, Terenzio, he was fine, but anyway, Jimmy Rader snubbed. Hector De La Cruz in the NL. Yeah, total stud. Brian Melton, this is a guy I was actually really, really interested in. Our lack of lefties and platoon stuff I like to do at this point. He was a guy I was really targeting, a young guy, and really hits righties really well. Unfortunately, his price was a little high. I actually tried to package like Jeff Huffins and his Ledesma, but I don't think the Ledesma's value is that high at this point. Maybe I could try it again. I don't know. Let me look really quick. So it'd be like, maybe even throw in like Juan Ramirez. I don't know. Okay, so we have, where's Huffins? He's down here. So like Huffins, Ledesma, and what was the other guy I said? Kyler Pierce. Yeah, they oddly don't want Ledesma. I can give Tim Levat, but I still like Levat. I guess you got to give up something to get something, and maybe honestly trading Tim Levat right now isn't the worst idea. But I still like him as a fifth starter. And we drafted him, so that also adds into it. Brian Anderson wins another Manager of the Year. He's probably won 4 straight. He's won the World Series in every season as a manager. And Russell Branyan. Wow, it's a name I've not heard in a long time. He wins with Cincinnati. They made it to the World Series this season. And Ricky Bustamante wins Cy Young. That's awesome. I honestly thought it was going to be either Paul Chacon. Actually, Chacon wasn't that good, but he led in WAR. But I guess his actual numbers on the year weren't great. Joel Lara, the starter, apparently. Jamel Spencer looks like a beast. Uchida finishes 5th despite only pitching in 24 games. Yeah, Bustamante gets almost every first place vote. Just behind Chacon and WAR, but his results were amazing. So he wins his first Cy Young. A guy that I'm actually looking to lock up long term. I did offer him a deal. He wasn't a huge fan of it. But if I was to go 9 years, give him $5 million in his first year arbitration, or actually this is a minimum year. And $8 million in his first year of arbitration. And then, I don't know, $14 million. We go up to $20 million his last year. And buy him out for a bunch of years at $25 million. This is a deal I really like. If he was to go for it. Yeah, he wants more overall value, which I think I can get to that 216 number. It just might take a little bit of work. We're not I'm not desperate to sign him at the moment. We could work on that later in the offseason. And then MVP. I'm guessing it's going to be, Devora. Although he didn't exactly sweep. Welvin Francisca, the guy from the Guardians that we saw. He only played 118 games, put up 6.5 WAR. Rainer Arias gets a first place vote, finishes 3rd. Jackson Merrill finishes 5th. Bustamante finishes down the ballot with a couple of votes there. And that's all of our guys. And then Jesus Mate wins another one. I think he won last year. 2 years ago he won. Yeah, 8.6 WAR. That'll do it. Elio De La Cruz unfortunately missed the World Series for the Reds. They might have had a fighting chance with him. Man, this guy looks really good too. Where'd they get him? Was he on their team? Where did this guy come from? He must have just been in their system. He was a 17-year-old. But I don't even think that makes any sense. Oh, yeah. Okay. He was in their system. That's fantastic. So this guy really worked out. Yeah, you can see the rest of the guys here. So Dane Raphael again, a couple votes. Good for him. Okay, so that's where we are right now. We'll hit free agency in a couple days. We'll come back for that. As for like needs, left-handed bat, preferably like a DH. A first baseman would actually be nice. With Montgomery out the door, and also Pedro Beltran. And yeah, with Colson Montgomery and the qualifying offer, I think there's a chance he might accept it. I don't really want to risk it. I'd love to get the draft pick. Would he accept like a $22 million 1-year deal? I don't even have enough money to offer this. Okay. 1 second. Let's just drop the development budget for a second. All right, I think I'm good giving Montgomery the deal. The qualifying offer. Aiden Curry will hit free agency. Also, Gregory Soto, we declined his team option. I just think I can get him back cheaper than $8 million. Yeah, and that's certainly the case. Which honestly, at that price, I mean, I'll just offer him right now. Still love me some Gregory Soto. We did have to pay him a $1 million buyout. We'll give him a team option for the second year. $500,000 buyout. All right, that'd be a good deal if we get him for that. Okay, so we'll be back for free agency in just a second. Okay, so you can probably see I'm recording from a new spot. Attic's too hot at the moment, but yeah, we have a couple of trades to announce here. So the first, I guess, piece of news before we get into that is Colson Montgomery wound up accepting the qualifying offer. Second year in a row, one of these guys has accepted that. I didn't think would. This one is a little bit more egregious, but yeah, I like Colson Montgomery. I would totally keep him around, but I wouldn't shop him around. He actually has quite a bit of value. Age 30, theoretically a good infielder. So he's a guy that I was kind of targeting to move. Also in this deal is Ian Griffin, 21-year-old, former second-round pick. A guy who, when we drafted him, I had high hopes for him, but and the OSA still really likes him. My scout, on the other hand, not a huge fan. He might be able to be like a long reliever or something long term, but he just really hasn't come along like I might have thought. There's still a chance he works out for the Yankees here, but yeah, you got to give something to get something. He was the guy that I valued the least, unless actually they would do it without him. Okay, we'll hold on to him then. And then Aaron Estrada is the other guy in the deal. I love Aaron Estrada, and he's, oh my god, freaking Dropbox cancel download. Crap. Keeps downloading stuff. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, we picked him up in the Bustamante trade. Just what a steal this was. Joe Musgrove now hurt. Cole Carrick retired. So we got Estrada and Bustamante in that deal. And early on, Estrada, a really, really solid player. Honestly, he's been super consistent every year with the bat. He's played a bunch of different spots. He's just getting really expensive. It's $5.7 million. I did, bring him back at that price. Kind of with the intention, if something comes along, we'll probably wind up dealing him. His numbers took a bit of a step back, but, overall, he was still about the same player. The home runs just dipped. He wasn't bad in the middle of the order, so wasn't getting the RBI production. But overall, he's a really solid player. Just didn't have the home runs this year, but had a good year. Anyway, we're flipping him for those two for Justin Christian. First round pick just last season. I do have it on so that recently drafted players can be traded, which is why Christian is able to be dealt here. Really good eye, really nice power. The contact's not horrible. He is 22 years old, which is my only real holdup on this. Our scouting accuracy is only average. So this could blow up in my face. But yeah, and he's not really well developed for a 22-year-old. Not as much as I would want. However, for just kind of even a salary dump, I love getting this guy back. The other guy was Alfonso Armendariz. He was the other guy I really liked that the Yankees were willing to give up. Unfortunately, like, yeah, they didn't really want to give up both. Holy crap. Block app. Okay. Yeah, he's a fastball changeup sinker guy, like, and he's fragile. So I'd prefer Christian. I don't know why he came out there. Where the heck did he go? He was in high A. Yeah, Justin Christian. So, yeah, so it's Montgomery Estrada for Justin Christian. The second deal, I mentioned I was looking at this deal earlier. I actually just went back to it just for ha-has. Now the Dodgers are interested in this Jeff Huffins for Brian Melton deal. Essentially, we're just swapping a right-handed version of a hitter for a left-handed version of a hitter. A guy who has much more dramatic platoon splits, I'd say. Huffins much more well-rounded in his ratings. You know, he can hit righties and lefties pretty evenly. He's always been better against lefties in the majors. And is coming off like a rough first half of the year. Was really good for us at the end of the season. Didn't want to play in a ton at all in the playoffs. Only got one game, I guess. So yeah, Huffins for Brian Melton. So that after that trade, that kind of leaves us with only one hole essentially on offense, and I think we can probably fill easily. It's a left-handed like first base DH type. I probably play Melton at DH against righties. Find someone else to fill in at first base, even if that's an internal option like Dihigo or like Juan Ramirez even getting playing time against righties, which, you know, we've talked about his platoon splits as well. Again, another reason I just want to get rid of righties, bring in lefties. Brian Melton, kind of the perfect player for that. Coming off a second place rookie of the year. Hit really well last season. You know, 107 WRC plus as a 25-year-old, 2.4 WAR. Played really well in right field too. So, like, if we want to maybe, you know, move Langford to first here, I don't know how he played in the field. Yeah, he was fine out there. I probably wouldn't move him. But like long term, if we wanted to move Langford to first or even DH Langford, we could put Melton out left. He'd probably be fine. Although I'm going to stick with Melton at DH for the moment, I think. Or even put Melton at first. I mean, he can theoretically play it a little bit. And he's durable, which is really cool. So, yeah. So, Huffins for Melton and Montgomery and Estrada for Christian. So, we're flipping like 3 major league players for 1 and a good prospect. So, I like these 2 deals. Again, kind of overhauling this roster as we start to get more expensive. This saves us like $27 million, which is amazing. And yeah, the fans definitely don't love that. But hopefully they can understand that this kind of stuff just needs to happen. But they do like that we got Brian Melton, which is cool. Yeah, and we're here at free agency, where now we kind of have a little bit of money to work with. $26 million. We probably can increase our ticket prices a little bit more. And increase our scouting. I just want to have this stuff maxed out because it's probably the route I'm going to go. I don't think I'm going to sign anyone big. But yeah, we have 17 million. I don't think there's a ton of big moves. Maybe we'll bring in a left-handed bat. But we have Melton here, and then wonder where Christian got sent. Here it is. Christian gets sent to rookie ball. Yeah, he'll be at least A ball to start the year. I did go through and do all my minor league systems already, so I'll have to just see where we're at. Yeah, so Melton can kind of slide right in. Maybe hit leadoff. His eye isn't amazing or anything. Maybe he's better suited for like a hitting in that 5 hole. And then, you know, we got Dihigo who can play against both. Yeah, he's pretty decent against righties. I wouldn't hate him being out there. We could put Ramirez out there as well. David Montez, another guy I want to get some at-bats to this season. He has crazy splits as well. And honestly, like, I explored Eric Murphy, like, dealing him. I mean, I just don't see how he's going to have a path to playing time. Is a backup catcher really that valuable? I mean, knock on wood, Drew Romo's been hurt for like 2 weeks this entire time we've had him. Plays 120 games every year. Really good player. Like, he's not going anywhere for the next, you know, at least 2 seasons. And Eric Murphy's 26. He's got a lot of value for like teams that want him or want a catcher. And he's played really, really well when he's been out there too. And we have the ability to take on a little bit of money, so like this can get interesting. Campbell Smithwith, bring him back. Yeah, he did not play well for Atlanta. Ooh, this guy like Ozuna, he doesn't have any splits. I kind of prefer the guys with splits, and he's making a lot of money too. Just looking for like guys with high potential ratings that aren't too old. Drake Baldwin's been solid in the save. Jackson Chobe definitely hasn't developed amazingly. Right, Cesari's a little bit better against righties, but not really in the departments that we want him to be. If we can get like a left-handed complement. Ooh, like Grady Emerson would be cool. He wasn't great last year for Detroit, but he has some tools. Former 4th overall pick, 24 years old, and would kind of be like a nice infielder. Like we can kind of play him wherever. We could move, maybe move Rosales to first, even though I don't love it. And he's also been good in his development so far. Yeah, he's excelling. It looks like he's gonna blow past it. Also, you can check in here. A lot of guys struggling, which isn't great. I am sending Kevin Briggs to improve his 2-strike approach to get cut the Ks down a little bit. He was a little bit high in Double-A last year. So like Emerson's interesting for an infielder, but we have a ton of infielders coming. Not to go back to the prospect well, but we have Kevin Briggs, obviously. He'll be in AAA to start the year. We have Dylan Jones out in A-ball. I don't love him, but then like Eduardo Padilla, Xavier Brown, the guy I don't love, but he's okay. Still lower levels. Vincio Coker's fallen off since we drafted him, and Juan Izquierdo, the farthest guy along besides Briggs. He'll be in Double-A to start the year after hitting really well in A and high A last season. So yeah, we have some guys coming in the infield. So like that's not a huge need, and we have a good infield to begin with. Daniel Kalina, I've seen him offered a ton. Yeah, like nothing really stands out to me too much. Mike Ennin, a guy I almost threw in that Yankees trade, but after we traded for what's his name, Melton. I'll get his name eventually. So after we traded for Melton, he kind of wasn't really necessary. Although he is another platoon guy and would kind of be perfect. I think we get him for cheaper than Murphy too. Ryan Smith, he's a nice splits guy. Young, 14th round pick. Can play some first base as well. Hit pretty damn well last year in the majors for Pittsburgh. I actually like Ryan Smith quite a bit. As like a placeholder type. Not a long-term like superstar or anything. But you need those guys too. Jeremy Phillips is interesting. He's fragile, though. Hector Osorio. Pretty balanced hitter, actually, all things considered, for a lefty. Has a good eye. He was okay last season. He put a .2 WAR. I bet a lot of that was, bad defense. He was playing center field. He's making the minimum. Matt McClain, we can bring him back. He's making a ton of money with San Francisco. I might search around for like a reliever deal. Let's look for relievers. Dylan Jordan's fine. Jacob Miller's okay. but he's wrecked. Billy Hewitt, looked at him. He's not really too well developed at age 27. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. Gregory Santos has been super consistent in the save. Even if his ratings aren't like amazing. Yeah, he's been phenomenal. Wow, he's been so freaking good. Look at those FIPS. I mean, under 75 most years, every year under 83. I mean, Santos wouldn't be a bad guy to bring in. His stuff did fall off. His movement improved, though. So I kind of like that. Not for Murphy, but yeah, a lot of these guys are older guys who have upside, but probably won't hit it at that point. Yeah, so Carlos Mateo, 27, had a good season. Although, strikeout to walk stuff isn't amazing. Ooh, Chris Scholes. Here we go. Now we're talking. Looks like they signed him to a minor league deal. He's fragile, but fastball, sinker, cutter, not ideal pitch mix. But he's young, still cheap. Signed him for $1.7 million. Bookman Gonzalez is set to make $12 million in the next couple of years. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. I really liked Gonzalez when he was here. All right, so I think we have a good idea. Definitely looking at Schultz and Gonzalez here. So I'm gonna poke around at the trade market, see what's going on. We'll come back. And I guess we could talk about really quick free agents. I don't think I'm going to be too active out here, but there are some interesting players. Not Jackson Churio. I mean, he's fine. But this guy, another one of these crazy true 3 outcome type of guys. I'm curious to see how his career plays out because the guy that the Giants had, he wound up like getting sent down to the minors. Do they even still have him on the roster? They might have DFA'd him. Yeah, I don't know where that guy went, but yeah, he was an interesting player, and he wound up just kind of sucking. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing too interesting out here. Like Kyle Teal would be awesome to bring in. Don't need him though. Jonas Song, I mean, he's been a really, really awesome reliever for the last couple of years. He wants just the bag though. It also costs a draft pick. I am scouting Carlos Vasquez. $1.8 million for this guy. I mean, I feel kind of bad. I might not even sign him just for, I don't want to stock up. I'm actually going to retract that offer. I want someone else to get him. I can't stack this team too much. I want to make it interesting. So I'll let someone else have Vasquez. But he's, about as good as they come at age 22. Going to be a total stud. Besides that, like Spencer Swellenbach, I like him, but gonna price this out. $36 million is demand. Jose Alvarado still, has he ever made an appearance on our team? So hard to remember. He has not. Yeah, I'll poke around the free agent market too, but yeah, we'll come back in just a little bit with any updates. Okay, so we're here, started spring training, or around there, a couple of games in. We just got our development stuff back. Not good. Really unsuccessful offseason all around. Sent a bunch of guys to go improve their defense. No one improved. The only guy who did was Rodrigo Luna, improving his control. His control stays at a 45. You got to assume the underlying numbers go up a little bit. Bustamante, no improvement in his control. Raul Molina was right there, right on the cusp of improving the avoid Ks. Still not too concerned about him long term. But yeah, he was unsuccessful. Ben Edens didn't improve his movement. Just an aspect of his game that's lacking behind everything else at this point. Rick Martino, a guy who was struggling at one point, wound up, having no improvement. Still looks like a really good arm. Izquierdo, no improvement on his plate discipline, and Mitchell Westerbeek, second round pick last year. I don't know if he'll turn into anything, but he was unsuccessful as well. I don't know if we have time to send anyone else to the lab. Can I send anyone? Yeah, no. So we're out of time. We have Bobby Scoresberg, Brian Melton, and Kevin Briggs is still out there. He's frustrated, but, he's not too far off. Maybe he's successful. Yeah, we're here at spring. We'll come back for probably opening day. I honestly didn't do a single thing. Rule 5 draft came and went. Didn't pick anyone. The pool was kind of rough. What was the guy's name? One of our catchers in our system did get taken, though. I also need to add guys to my spring training roster. But yeah, one of the catchers we had got taken. Whatever. He was a guy we got in the Twins trade a while ago. I forgot what his last name is, but anyway, he got taken. I guess I can go back into emails. I try to delete some of these as well. Probably like around, what was that, January? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, we'll keep moving forward through spring. Hopefully we make out of it unscathed, although Matt Napstein does have an injury, elbow injury. It's never good. Logan Webb is back and healthy, so good to have him back. I don't know what capacity he'll be in this year, but probably be starting. But yeah, we'll come back in just a little bit. Okay, so we have a few days here until our opening day, but just wanted to go over. Oh, Justin Franklin is back in AAA. Yeah, I went through a bunch of like minor injuries for like insignificant pitchers this offseason or this spring. Jonathan Arana, not nothing. I actually kind of like him. 21 years old, international guy back in 2028 in that offseason where I signed like 20 guys. Yeah, he pitched really, really well between A ball and high A last year, mostly in high A. But tore his rotator cuff, so he'll be out for the year. It's unfortunate. Matt Napstein can have surgery to remove bone chips. He'll be out for 4 to 5 months. Maybe we'll see him at the end of the year. Marco De La Cruz goes down with a rotator cuff strain. Good relief prospect, and hopefully we can get him back. But I'll go over the opening day roster in a little bit. I want to go over prospects really quick. So Raul Molina slots in at number 8. Ivan Peralta, this guy we got international free agency this offseason. Didn't announce that, but the last check-in. But yeah, we signed him to the max. Number 10 prospect in baseball. So all the other guys were like extreme development risks. So didn't really want to take the chance with that. So I went with Peralta. Kevin Briggs slots in at number 17. He had a brutal spring, 153 OPS. Hopefully better days ahead for him. Rick Martino, number 52. Marco Martinez, number 95. Out with a fractured hand. He got hurt early in spring. Only played 2 games for us. And then Eduardo Padilla, another similar shortstop type. He is just outside the top 100 at number 119. Travis Minich, who, that was a bit surprising he's this high, but OSA loves him. Former 13th round pick, 22 years old. He'll start the year in AAA after pitching all of last year in AA. I'm just kind of trying to sim while I do this. Then a couple arms after that, we have Rodrigo Luna, who'll graduate this year. Justin Ott, 5th round pick last season. Art Scout doesn't love him as much as the OSA. Jesus Ortega, 19-year-old, 3rd round pick last season. He's fallen off a bit since we drafted him. Ian Griffin's still in the top 200. Didn't want to trade him this offseason. We'll see how he works out. And Dylan Jones, just inside the top 200 at number 199. Other guys, Xavier Brown, Bobby Scoresberg. He'll make the opening day roster once we get to that. Brandon King, really excited for him. He looks like a real stud potentially. Cyril Vincio Coker still here. Amedio Parentuselli, clearly Italian. Reliever prospect. I really like him. David Montez, in our top 20 here. DJ Swindle, second round pick back in 2030. He's moved slowly through the minors, but he will start the year in A-ball. Didn't pitch well at that level last year. Then David Parkes, first round pick last season. Another guy who fell off pretty quickly after we drafted him, but maybe he makes the majors. Who knows? Okay, so we're here opening day. I almost just simmed it, but going to go over the opening day roster. So the rotation will be Bustamante Uchida, who has definitely shown signs of decline. Still looks like a good arm, though. Logan Webb will be our 3 starter to open the year. Tim Levet, our 4. And Jimmy Rader makes the opening day rotation. No surprise there. He pitched 20 awesome games for us last year and had 2 good playoff starts at the end. Kirkering will be in the back end once again. He'll be a free agent after this season. Zach Showalter will be our 8th inning guy. He was awesome last season. Rodrigo Luna makes the opening day roster as our 7th inning guy. He was great last year. Pitched a really good World Series game 6, I think it was. Danny Carpenter will be back once again. A bit of a down year last year. Hopefully he can bounce back. Juan Soto will once again get an opportunity. He was really good in spring. Just give him one more shot. He's out of options, so we'll DFA him if things go poorly. Gregory Soto, definitely showing signs of decline at this point, but was still overall really good last year for us and under contract. Alan Perdomo, also the guy who took a step back with his stuff, but had a good year. So he's in here as well. And then Danny Macarola out of options, but still looks like a good arm. So he'll get a full run here as our long man. Notable guys who missed out on the opening day roster. From the pitching side, I guess we'll just look at guys on the 40. Justin Franklin, he's just coming off an injury. He'll probably be up. Jesus Ledesma, former top prospect, now turned reliever. He misses the opening day roster. Kyler Pierce actually had a really good spring. Wanted to get him on the team. Just didn't have a spot for him. And Angelo Rivera, who's coming off a spring training injury. And the lineup's a little funky. I don't love how it looks at this point, but we're going to rock with it to open it up. So at catcher, we'll have Romo and Murphy back. No surprises there. At first base against righties, we're going to have Bobby Scoresburg making the team. 6th round pick in 2027, 24 years old. And, hasn't had a ton of time in the majors, but want to give him a shot here. Pretty even splits. He's worse against righties, but really just in the power department. So we'll start again at first base. And then against lefties, obviously we'll have Josh Leno. We know what he is, the lefty masher. And at second base, we're going to have kind of a time share between Herman Ramirez against lefties, Nesty Rosales against righties. I forgot to mention, he did improve his defense. We'll see if the range improves, because that was an issue for him last year. And then at third base, we're going to have a combination between Herman Ramirez and Dihigo. Ramirez at third against righties, and Dihigo at third against lefties. In the outfield, we have Langford, Merrill, Arias. No changes there, although Langford's going to move to DH against lefties as we put Juan Ramirez in. And then at DH, we're going to have Brian Melton against righties. He'll take a seat against lefties. So a ton of platoon stuff going on here. And, we'd still love to get a lefty first baseman, depending on how Bobby Scoresburg plays. But we'll give Scoresburg the first crack. So we'll be opening the season against the Yankees, a team we made a pretty significant trade. Colton Montgomery playing first base for them. We also gave them Aaron Estrada, who's on their bench. Not even starting at all. Oh, man, I hope he gets to play. I feel they're not really mixing him in, but anyway, we'll have Ricky Bustamante on the mound. Cy Young winner last year against Garrett Crochet. Still kicking it here at age 33. So opening day 2033, looking for our 5th straight World Series. That sounds crazy to say. I've never had this much success in this game. For the next series, which will probably, we'll start it up probably pretty soon, but I'm going to increase the trade difficulty. Not that I don't think I really fleeced any teams in this series, but it was mostly good development, good drafting, stuff like that. So we actually re-signed Matt Scott to a minor league deal. Just want to mention that at least. Anything else notable? Kevin Briggs. Looks like he improved. That's good to see. He continues his ascension. We'll see if he works out. I sure hope he does, because we gave up one of our best players, Pedro Beltran, for him, who's also out with a leg injury already, 1 game in. God, that sucks. I really wish he worked out, man. Unfortunately, the leg injuries are always going to kill him. But anyway, we lost 2-0 opening day. The lineup, which I thought would be better against lefties, didn't do much. Bustamante was good. Danny Carpenter good out of the pen. Crochet pitched well for them. But they just shut us down. So game 1, first opening day loss we've had in a long time, it feels like. Game 2, Uchida on the mound. Win 4-0. Does what he does. 8 2/3. No runs. Luna closes it out. We get to Skeens, who's on the second year of his deal with the Yankees. Bobby Squaresberg, 2 hits and 4 at-bats. Arias and Rosales also a pair of hits each. So Brock Selvage, game 3. Logan Webb for us. We win 9-7. Ramirez, 4 RBIs, 2 hits. Merrill had 3 hits. Looks like a home run by Drew Romo and Leno in the first inning, a leadoff home run for him. Logan Webb definitely got roughed up in this one, but Macarola, Soto, and Kerkering able to close it out. So we go for the series win here. It'll be Mario Castillo against Tim Levette. And we lose 5-4, split the opening series of the year. Home run by Arias in the first inning. Tim Levette, not great. Soto pitched 2 2/3. But yeah, not too much to talk about outside of the home run, and then Rosales also drove in a run, so he's off to a nice start to the year as well in 3 games played. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the offseason episode. We will see you guys next time for the midseason update, and maybe what's going to be our last season of this save. We will see. But thank you very much, as always, for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.